Hey guys, this is HD. Welcome back. This is going to be game number 5 between NonY and TheLittleOne. It is going to be in the HDH Invitational. Third place winner takes home $450. And this time, TheLittleOne is up 3-1 over NonY. It is the 4 games have gone by already. This is going to be on Metalopolis, and we definitely have seen some great play from TheLittleOne playing Terran on Metalopolis before. So maybe we're going to see that this game. It is going to be a TVP, game number 5. We are getting started underway right now, and make sure to check out our sponsor, iRip. Go to Google, type that in, and check out what the product does.
All right, it is going to be a TVP, like you said. Very exciting stuff. It does seem like TheLittleOne is just alternating. We said this last game, but it's still standing true. Alternating between Zerg and Terran. Have yet to see a Protoss versus Protoss, so all the Terran fans out there are going to be very excited about that. But right now, since it is going to be basically three wins TheLittleOne, 1 win to NonY, NonY has got to win 3 games in a row if he wants to take this best of 7. Now, I do want to mention that both players did agree to make this into a best of 7 from a best of 5. So NonY's happy that he made that decision. TheLittleOne probably not so happy.
That's right. TheLittleOne right now would have lost already this entire series had it been a best of 5. And so it is going to be a best of 7. TheLittleOne here throwing up his racks right on that front door. And I'm thinking for this game, we might see more of a long-term macro game, perhaps seeing some siege tanks, possibly nukes, maybe not, because we have seen him use that in the TLI against Whitera. So I can't wait to get this game underway. NonY here moving his scouting probe across the map to see exactly what is going on. And I think Metalopolis is a pretty fair map for both Terran and Protoss. They're both spawning in the opposite positions as well.
Pretty interesting, TheLittleOne not doing that fast expand build, it looks like, as his supply depot placement is a lot different than when he was doing that build where he, does the supply drop and then gets a very fast command center. Able to slip that probe up in here, though, so he knows now that he is playing against a Terran player. It's pretty interesting that NonY is forced to do a similar opener every single game, getting that fast gas and that cybernetics core, because he doesn't know what exactly he's playing against, but he took a little bit of a gamble here. He actually doesn't have his Zealot on the way quite yet. He's just got the probes, and he's delaying his Zealot to get those higher tech units, just now starting it after the cybernetics core. So he is going, once again, a build that allows you to get higher tech. He's trying to kill an SCV down here at the expansion, or he is actually getting a command center. He's just not doing the drop. He is actually getting a second supply depot this time, and just now getting his gas. So similar style, but a slightly different way of going about it.
I think so. Both players, especially NonY, is going for the same kind of build. One gate straight into Cybercore, and we're probably going to see the robotics tech go down right away. We do have Warp Gate being researched as well. It's in NonY's ball court right now because he can apply the aggression. He does have a Zealot on the way. And by the way, TheLittleOne, like you said, is grabbing that expansion like he always does for Terran these days, it seems. So it really is in NonY's court, his decision to make some aggression happen, or NonY could grab a fast expansion himself.
It's great, though, that in StarCraft 2, the game has evolved to where there are going to be these fast expand builds. I mentioned this in the Zerg versus Protoss, but even in Terran versus Protoss, it used to be just mass up an entire ground army off one base as Terran and then move out. But we are not seeing that this game. We're seeing TheLittleOne just try and get as much of an economy as he can. He's got his factory on the way, and he does have double gas now going. And so once again, getting that orbital command before he's going to lift off here. And it looks like, yeah, the Stargate for NonY. He is really loving these Stargate builds.
Wow, could we possibly be seeing some more Phoenixes coming out from NonY? I really think that if NonY decided to go for Void Rays, though, he could inflict so much more damage, considering this is pre-patch 13, so this is before the Void Ray was nerfed. With careful micro, you can actually charge the Void Rays up before you enter the Terran battlefield. So we'll see what's coming on the way. It does look like it's a Phoenix for NonY. NonY really loves his Phoenixes, man.
I'm surprised he can consistently use the Phoenix, because the thing about the Phoenix is you have to micro it perfectly, because we've said this before and we've seen it be true time and time again. Phoenixes don't win you the game, they just assist you in it, because if all you have is 100 Phoenixes, you can't actually kill their buildings, so you still have to have a ground army to finish the game for you. So if you're not careful with the Phoenix, they're very fragile, they're basically paper planes. So it's pretty ballsy, I'd say, for him to continue getting these Phoenix builds, but it's worked for him before. It worked very well in the past for him. So we're going to see if he can make it work here once again.
Some nice scout action right there by NonY, moving that Phoenix into the main, so he sees exactly what is going on right here. One more factory being added on, as well as an armory. Possibly might see a Thor come out here for the little one, because he does have the he doesn't really have that much of a ground army right now. Nice force field there, gonna block off the ramp so the little one can't move out with his Marines, and this expansion is gonna get delayed that much more.
Almost if NonY would have clicked that a little bit better, he could have trapped a couple of those Marines, but there is just a tiny little sliver he can get down there. But yep, the command center forced to land in humiliation, and he'll probably just end up using mules off of it for it now. But good timing here by NonY, realizing that there is going to be a fast expand, and Marines are not very good against these lower tier Protoss units. They just don't cut it. And so there is a Hellion out now. They aren't very good against those units. He's gonna slip right by though, and just run off into the distance to try and make something happen here. Maybe try and kill some workers, or just kite around these Zealots as long as he can. But what he needs is Marauders, and instead though he's going to be getting a Thor. And so yes, it will be Thors here. Once that spawns, he should be able to take this expansion with this Thor though.
I'm surprised the little one didn't leave the Hellion in defensive position, because the Hellion can actually burn sentries pretty darn quickly. Now the Hellion is going to make its way into the natural, nothing to really burn away there. Phoenix trying to chase it down. There we go, a Graviton beam being used on the Hellion, and the Hellion is pretty much dead meat right here in the air. Oh, it barely lands just in time, but goes down to the sentry nonetheless. Now NonY is in a firm control position. I think he's got the center of the map in his control. We do have the pre-igniters being researched for the Hellions, so I think we're going to see more Hellions come out for the little one. He also has a second Thor on the way, so the little one not doing too bad for himself, as he is now going to be able to secure that natural.
The only problem is that expansion got delayed for so long, especially considering the little one revolved his entire build around getting a fast expansion, but NonY putting some passive-aggressive pressure there. He wasn't trying to kill anything. He was just, denying it, just annoying him, and then just backing out in time. And so that allowed NonY to actually get his expansion up before, even though he was going such a high-tech build. And so, yep, Thors are good, though. This build is definitely different than what we've seen from the little one, so I'm curious to see if he can make it work. He's still getting a lot of Marines, a lot of Hellions, and he's saving his gas for those Thors. Do note he does have the 2 add-ons, so at some point he's going to start getting possibly 2 Thors at once, I would imagine. But now that he does have the starport, possibly going to see some Vikings now that there are the reactor is on there. So I'm really curious to see if he can make this build work, as well as we've seen him use other builds as Terran.
Yep, one of his factories swapping off with the reactor right now. He's going to be able to pump out mass Hellions. This starport possibly going to be getting some Ravens, but NonY moving in with his Phoenixes is going to take out these SCVs. That means it's going to delay the missile turrets from going up. All the SCVs being lifted up here, and NonY doing critical damage to the economy line of the little one. Let's see how many probes or SCVs he lost there. 30 to 46 right now. The little one lost several SCVs in that exchange. Not good for the little one. He really might want to think about getting more missile turrets, maybe leaving a Thor behind in the mineral line, because Phoenixes cannot lift up massive units.
That is really unfortunate for the little one. If you look at his main base, he actually had 3 missile turrets, but they were out of position. That left one, that 4th one on the left, just now going up there. But, a little bit too late. He did lose a bunch of SCVs. Looking at the units lost tab, 600 minerals for the little one, and that doesn't really completely accurate, because you can't really tell. I mean, his income is way lower, and he lost SCVs. He wasn't losing Marines. So he's got to try and push out to make something happen here. But we've seen it before. Marines are not good against Zealots. Is this enough to make something happen? I don't know, because we're going to be seeing units lifted up left and right.
Yeah, one thing to note is the units lost tab actually bugged right now. It doesn't show when you lose probes or harvesters of any sort. So the little one here is actually taking a much larger hit than we might think. Now the little one is thinking about making some kind of push, but there's a very massive Protoss force, 108 supply to 90. The little one is going to lose his Thors to these Void Rays. The Void Rays focusing them down, and everything else getting lifted and destroyed by NonY. Wow, NonY is going to take this game easily. The little one, GG's.
Wow, that was so one-sided there. And that was actually a good call there by NonY to get those Void Rays out in mass, because he knew he had the army to deal with those Marines, and the Void Rays are just going to chew through the Thors. The Thors do virtually no damage to the heavy armored Void Rays there. So good choice there. Great unit composition. NonY loves these higher tech air units. So that is that, and we are going to go ahead and go on to the next game. It is now going to be 3-2. So wow, this is getting dangerously close here for both players. So we're going to see if the little one can wrap it up, or if it's going to go to the last game.